Hello and welcome to myNewsWrap. Um, it's not Friday, it's Saturday, but yesterday, after I recorded my session, some amazing news crossed my path and certainly also crossed your path. And I wanted to use the opportunity to, well, wrap up this news and guide you to all the links that have been pushed out yesterday because uh, it was busy. Now, what am I talking about? Well, there was a post on LinkedIn by Holger Bruchelt um, that said, well, bringing together the power of Azure and Teams with SAP solution with another link. And there were the two executives of SAP and Microsoft once there. And well, that was interesting to see. And I hoped that that was the advent of SAP Embrace 2.0 or however you want to call that. Because last year, as you have heard, as you have probably felt if you have been working in that area, there have been quite some impediments between SAP and Microsoft on a political level, so not on a technical level as usual. And I think with this announcement, all these impediments seem to have gone, and SAP Embrace is alive and kicking. And this was kind of underlined by two further tweets, one by Christian Klein, who brought up the collaboration between SAP and Microsoft with respect to embedding Microsoft Teams into the SAP solutions or integrating this tool. And well, if you know, when Christian Klein tweets something, then I think it's important because he's one of the key figures of the board. And there was also another news pushed out by SAP News yesterday, where from my perspective, second important person from the board was referenced, and that's Thomas Saueressig. So, and that post was the one that I was really waiting for. SAP is expanding its long-standing partnership with Microsoft. And based on this, there have been some announcements on the SAP website as well as on the Microsoft website. So one was the official announcement with respect to the expansion of the partnership between Microsoft and SAP, or should I say, revival of this partnership that we have all been waiting for if you are in the area of SAP and Microsoft. And well, this news story basically underlines what was expected. So SAP and Microsoft now want to bring Microsoft Teams into the SAP solutions. There are three areas are mentioned. So three solutions will be the leader, that's S/4HANA for sure. That's the SAP Sales Cloud. That absolutely makes sense. And that's the SAP Success Factors solutions, which from my perspective also makes sense on very different areas, but that's absolutely cool news. And that's not all. So this news also comprises further areas where the cooperation will go on. Of course, they pick up where they started at the very beginning. SAP S/4HANA on Microsoft Azure as an infrastructure provider. As we all know that there is more behind that because you can then kind of make your life easier by using high-level services on Microsoft Azure also in the operations area. But that's kind of also picking up again. And last but not least, that was, from my perspective, what I was waiting for, because I'm more the application guy, not the infrastructure guy, bringing the platform services closer together. So the SAP Business Technology Platform will be brought closer together with the Microsoft Azure services too. And here again, they picked up what was highly appreciated at the very, very beginning. They will bring these services together to deliver business outcomes for the customer. So it's all about customer centricity. Great news for the start of the weekend from my perspective. There is also quite some links in there. I will now go through them bit by bit. Of course, there was also an announcement on the Microsoft side of the house with respect to the collaboration for success. I think we will hear more of that next week. And there was one news story from SAP concerning or diving deeper into the topic of integrating Microsoft Teams across the SAP solution. So this is a more, let's say, focused approach, kind of, picking up the story of Thomas Sauer Essex News on the SAP News side, but also referencing another piece of the puzzle that comes into the play, which is the recently announced collaboration of SAP and Microsoft in the area of digital supply chain and Industry 4.0 solutions, especially when it comes, I think, from my perspective, to the edge. So all the pieces of the puzzle now come together, and hopefully we will see more and more. Also, I think it's referenced in here within this blog post concerning reference architectures, concerning technical guidance, how to bring those two worlds together. That was clearly, it's in this blog post. I found it. So if you're watching this video, you can see it now. If you're just listening to, you have to believe me. Actionable reference architectures and technical guidance to help customers on their journey to the cloud. So it's really all about the stuff that SAP Embrace was promising. And after some hiccup, it's now coming. There is also one ebook referenced. I don't know why I call it ebook. It's basically pictures and a bit of text, but it highlights again all the nice things that we loved about SAP Embrace and that was now coming out of their hibernation with these announcements. So again, it's about teams. It's about customer centricity. So they really want to collaborate. They want to bring the customer forward. Also with a joint roadmap for this collaboration. So it's not about one-stop thingy, but they really want to push that into the future with a collaboration roadmap. And this ebook is kind of the first part of it. We know that from the integration area of the SAP solutions, where they also regularly update these things. But now we are here with SAP Embrace or collaborating for success. I do not care how it's called. I really love that they are collaborating again. There are some customer success stories referenced within this ebook, going all over the place concerning integrating teams into SAP solutions, concerning running S4 on Azure, and what is the highlight for me, again, from an application perspective. It's quite at the end of this ebook. It's about bringing together SAP Microsoft Azure platform as a service. So it's no longer about only we use Microsoft Azure as an infrastructure. We have to own the stack. All the not so nice words that we heard in the last year. It's about bringing together Microsoft Azure and the business technology platform and S/4HANA for sure, and the other solutions. And that's really great to see, and that really gives me kind of hope that the topics like those reference architectures, like making the integration easier, there is some homework to do. I mean, it's possible somehow, but it could be easier, is brought forward. So that's really great news from my perspective. So just take a look. It's 14 slides, so it's not too much to read, a lot of pictures. Take a look at that. And then there is a renewed landing page for the SAP and Microsoft partnership. That is also referenced from the SAP announcements, where you can watch different videos about how SAP and Microsoft think about this collaboration. The ebook is referenced again, short CEO statements for sure. And then, there is two more videos that kind of highlight what are the first statements with respect to the collaboration, what can customers expect, and I think they like the message. So they are really short videos, so no Netflix binge watching like stuff that you have to do. It's about customer centricity. So that's something that I think is really highly appreciated. It's about really joint work of SAP and Microsoft, starting from roadmaps over SLAs, over joint support teams. So it's kind of one source of truth. You do not have to discuss with two parties, but it's a joint support. I have to look at my cheat sheet. It's also support about integrating the solutions. And there was one solution that was specifically highlighted by Thomas Sauer, I think, in one video, and that's the data custodian, which kind of gives you some private cloud thingy in the public cloud. So I think that's all now really coming nicely together. And there is one more thing that I found cool, but maybe I'm just over exaggerating, because I'm really happy about that announcement right at the start of 2021. And that's referenced in Explore the Futures of the Industry from this landing page. For those who listen to this, I have all the references as usual in GitHub, so you just have to click the links there. And this is another landing page that highlights in a very, in a positive sense, cute way, how Microsoft and SAP will work together and what will be their the areas where they will work together. So this is about four pillars, or four pillars that they will be working together. One is retail, another one is manufacturing. So I think this is where the digital supply chain story comes in. We have, of course, pharmaceuticals, and what surprised me a bit, it's business insights. Why is that surprising? Because I think in the area of business insights and analytics, there is kind of the let's say, biggest competition between SAP and Microsoft from my perspective. But great to see that they could align in that area, because it's good for the customer. And if you dive into these areas, you then have, let's say, retail. You see kind of sub-stories in this retail area. So you have, let's say, make real-time traceability a reality. Well, that's kind of already the case, but win the last mile challenge, win customer loyalty. We have something comparable in the manufacturing area. I think that's more the real turf for SAP, especially. It's about the supply chain. It's about agile factories. It's about workflows and workforce empowerment, where I think then especially the collaboration, the Microsoft 365 portfolio comes into play, and it's building customer experience. So again, another piece of the puzzle, and this is really, really cool to see how things come together, how SAP and Microsoft plans to kind of explore the future, like it's mentioned here on this landing page, and how things could work together and the customer can benefit from this collaboration. So yeah, that was it. A special edition of myNewsWrap, because I think this news is great. That's super cool. So go through the links, take a look at the videos, and I hope there is more to come in the upcoming weeks. What's going on, and especially there is more delivery in the area of reference architectures and technical integration, because this is then where we will work on. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this special edition, and let's see what I have next Friday, when we have the regular edition of myNewsWrap again. So with that, have a nice weekend. Have a great week, and see you next week. Bye.